What's up, everybody? It's your boy Galaxy Greg, and welcome to episode 105 of the Be More Nerdy podcast. I'm your host, Galaxy Greg, aka the Double OG Galaxy, aka Mr. Space Awaits, aka the motherfucker who forgets to record sometimes. With me today is my co-host Diva XOXO.
What it is, little dummies? It's your girl Diva XOXO, aka the sophisticated ratchet. No, see, right the first time.
I think you should say the sophisticated ratchet, aka the Sophista Ratchet or Miss Sophista Ratchet, because like it makes sense and not everyone's gonna get it.
But I did it right the first time.
You did do it right the first time.
I'm just here so I don't get fired now.
I love it. And then today with us we have a very special guest, Mr. D.R. Marshall, creator of the webtoon Infinity Star. Go ahead, shout yourself out, let them know where they can find you, find it, give it to us.
Absolutely. What's going on, man? It's D.R. Marshall, author of your new favorite manga, Infinity Star. You can find me at d.r.marshall on all platforms, except for IG is going to be Infinity Star the manga. Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. And I say what I said in the beginning, and she said what she said in the beginning, because we actually were talking for a solid 10 minutes, and I didn't realize I didn't hit the record button. So that's on me. But during those 10 minutes, we began the interview. As you guys know, when we have a guest, we start with the interview, and we got right into it. And please let us hear that harrowing story of how you got the idea, where you came from, all that, because that was the beginning of the interview. And I would like to start back there because y'all need to hear this. Not only does the story got lore, but bruh, he got lore. So let us hear it, please.
Yeah, so like I was explaining earlier, I used to work for Blizzard, the game company, the people that made World of Warcraft and Hearthstone and all that good jazz. I used to work there during the time when they was about to release Overwatch, and right before they released Overwatch, they had a in-company contest where we had to create our own characters, and the person who won the contest will get their character created, 3D modeled, all that, and will get their character added to Overwatch. Now, me, I've always had a knack for drawing. I don't think that I'm the best drawer, but that's cap though, because that's changing fairly quickly. But
he not lying. Big cap.
Big cap. You know what I'm saying? Hey, evolution on the way. But nah, so. I've always been okay with drawing. I truly believe that I just draw better than the average person. As I was telling them, my earliest drawing was actually me drawing my third grade teacher naked, stripping on stage. And
once again, fact, super on brand for us.
I did not get in trouble for it. Like she told my grandmother, and my grandmother told my mom, but my mom had just got to work, and she was like, "I'll call you later about it." So like, it's lit.
And you know, grandma be forgetting. Love it when they tell the grandma.
Yeah, that third grade teacher actually owes me a king size Snickers too, and I'm gonna get it one day. So anyway, so like when I was working at Blizzard, I wanted to participate in this contest. So I went home that day and I started drawing this character that was supposed to fit within the Overwatch lore. We had to design what his role would be, how you would map his controls, his aerial movement, what kind of base weapon, everything. And so I had a lot of fun doing that, just so that whenever it was time for us to present those ideas, they actually DX'd the entire contest because there wasn't that many participants. So I was pretty bummed out. And this was at the same time that like Captain America Civil War was coming out, me being a big Marvel fan. I knew like the Infinity Stones were coming in play very soon. So I was overall excited for everything. So after I found out that I wasn't able to present that idea, I just went home and started erasing ideas. And I originally drew Rob to be like Marvel fanfic, like some new Marvel character that was going to interact with Captain America and everybody eventually. But then with how much fun I was having in writing a story, I realized that I would have to now fit within their laws. So I was like, nah, let me remove that limit altogether. So I ended up starting from scratch, and that's how Robert Adam and Infinity Star was born.
Dope. So before we're gonna get all the same information now. Before you gave us a little bit of lore about how the characters' names came about, in your relation to them, can you share that with us?
For sure. So Robert's my middle name. The DR in DR Marshall is Robert. It's actually my name. DR Marshall is actually just my initials and my last name. I kind of got the idea from like D.L. Hughley or like J.K. Rowling. I thought that shit was cool. So I was like, D.R. Marshall, man, that's just cool. My grandkids don't call me Doc. That could work. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, it's a vibe. But yeah, so Robert's my middle name. So quite naturally when I was, which is actually really dangerous. If you're making manga, this is probably the most dangerous thing you can do, which is a self-insert. But Robert Adam was originally a self-insert to my manga. So quite naturally, his surroundings and the people he interacted with was going to be based off of the people around me. So you have his little brother Miles is based off of my little brother. His love interest Denise is based off of my wife. His two best friends is based off of my best friends, Lamar and Reese. So yeah, that's pretty much like how I got the names. And actually, I know earlier you also said something along the lines of they feel like real people, and that's why, because I tried to use those same relationships. Like when you read chapter 4, you see how vicious their mother is, because my mom is Panamanian and she's an asshole. You know what I'm saying? So it's like she has so much fury. So it's like when you see all that stuff, it's like I'm pulling these from real life inspirations. But at some point I had to learn also to cut that off. So those ties may start to wither soon.
So it's really funny that you say that, because the self-insert thing, very true. If you're ever going to write something, try your best not to use yourself. I've already made that mistake. However, making some edits. However, make it, if you are, make it very different. Make it not you if it is you. You feel me? Does that make sense? Because a lot of mangaka actually self-insert in a lot of their stuff. Like the guy that makes Chainsaw Man, right? Yeah. His Denji's based off of him a lot of the ways. Him in college. His love for dominant women. The dominant women he included, Makima, was actually based off of a chick he had a crush on.
Same thing for JJK.
Yep. Gege's friends all say that he's like
all Gege's friends, and it's funny because he's like, I hate.
Yeah, he's like, I hate Gojo. I think I'm more like what is it, Ghetto. And his friend was like, no.
He's like, no,
you're more like Gojo. And he's like, I hate Gojo. He's like, you must hate yourself, because. But the thing is, they layer them so differently. Like, they don't look like how they look and everything like that. You feel me? So like, but I get it. I definitely get it. If you can do it, don't self-insert. If you can, make them different. Similar in 21 Blackjack, we're trying to change names, and the personalities are what I would call similar to ours, but on 100. Like,
yeah, that's definitely what we did with 21. We took the personalities of the people they're based off of, and just
we took the dial and ripped it off. Honestly,
right. Basically. So the reason why I say that self-insert is usually dangerous is because a lot of times we look at ourselves in a certain light, and whenever you start to look at your character as this is a representation of me, at that point you kind of you hinder the character development there, because you don't want to see yourself lose. You never want to see your character, get their ass whooped, because it's you. Why would you see yourself get ass whooped, get their ass whooped? Like, you'll see situations where it's like,
reality.
If you're like if you're a guy, which I know, there's this guy that I know that's making a manga, and he's not as hip with the opposite sex as much as he wants to. So he draws his main character is this huge womanizer, and that way he can live through his character. And it's like, when you do stuff, I always feel like that's just dangerous, because
100%. No, it's a very fine line to walk, is what I call it. Like, and that's why I'm so glad that Diva's helping me with the writing, because I often say, I know male struggles. I know how it is to live as a male. I don't know the struggles of a woman. So there's often times where I'm like, Diva, can you help me with this? Or does this sound like something a girl would say or do in this situation? And she'd be like, it's a little this, tweak it this way. Or, you made it a little too soft. I don't think this character would do this. And it's like, cool. Having that outside perspective usually helps, especially because, like, similarly, a lot of the characters are based on people. So, like, let's say I made a speech. I'll, like, show the person a speech and be like, what do you think about this speech? I'll never tell them that they said it. And they're like, I think it's this, and this. Or they think, like, what's the character doing? And they're like, oh, this person's boxing, and they're just letting them know, I'm about to whoop your ass, and this is what I'm doing about it. And it's like, Then I'm like, I'll tweak it. I never tell them, because I can't have people knowing, like, because then they're going to feel some type of way if they get whooped or they don't get whooped. Like, can't gas people up too much, you feel me?
Yeah. For sure.
But
you go ahead.
no, you take it.
I was gonna say, because we did it in the last one. You want to show off the Infinity Star tat?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, so I got Rob's gym tatted on me. I'm actually not the only person. When I got this tattoo, like 3 people went with me, and they all got the gym
That's
tatted
tough.
on them.
So cool.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they're dumb, but I love the support. Like, they see the vision. I take that back. They're not dumb, bro. But we all see the vision. I have that. I have the.
Yes, sir. Infinity Star on the leg.
On the leg, and then the one on my hand is actually part of a bigger tat, which actually shows Rob stretching his hand out. His hand is my hand, so we are one.
Yes, sir. So, outside of, I would say, the writing, what is your process in, like, do you gotta sit down next to a bellowing creek? Do you gotta watch some TV? Do you listen to music and turn it on blast and be like, yeah, it's time to write and draw? Or do you just kind of just wait for inspiration? Like, what's your process when going through writing and doing something like that?
So I kind of handle both of those different. So when it comes to drawing, I absolutely have to have something playing, like noise in the background, something that's kind of engaging, where it's gonna keep me at my desk, because I don't know if y'all feel the same way, but drawing sucks, and I hate it with every being of my spirit.
It does.
I hate it with every being of my spirit. And now, okay, well, let me rephrase that. Drawing is really fun. Drawing with a deadline sucks.
Yeah.
Or whenever you want to put yourself on a schedule, that's when it kind of sucks. But like, yeah, other than that, drawing's the shit. Now, when it comes to writing the story, I kind of want to derail that real quick and kind of bring up something else. But who was it that told me that? So my previous boss was telling me that we actually misused the word genius. I don't know if this is real, but we actually misused the word genius, in that genius wasn't something that we would use to describe ourselves. It would be something we possess. So genius, the original conception of genius was that it was used as a replacement for the word idea. Like, I have a genius, which was I have a great idea. Or it was like you're not a genius, you're in a genius state, or something like that. It was more of something that you had that would show good ideas versus something that you are. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because with that definition of genius, something that comes to you versus something that you are producing, I feel like that's kind of what happens with me when it comes to the writing process, because I will be playing with I'll be playing with a screwdriver, and a whole idea for like a super dope villain will like come in mind. I'll be like, oh, that's fire. But I did no brain power for that. Like, there was nothing. Like, Genie was not like something that I sat there and thought of. Like, I was already going to do something similar. Then I saw Monkey when I was watching Boomerang, and I was like, that's it. But it's like this, and that's the only idea I can give without giving too many spoilers. But like, there's crazy, full, fleshed out stories ideas that I've had that would take up maybe 20 chapters that I've had in an instant. So I don't honestly know how I do the writing process. It just happens.
That sounds like me. We're very similar, because I will literally call her at the random time of the day and be like, I'll be like, 21 Blackjack idea. How do you feel about a nigga that makes you break into song as his ability? She's like, what? Yeah, you can't not be in song, or else there's a consequence. Haven't figured out the consequence. And she's like, what?
I hope you wrote that down, because I love that villain.
So like, watch this. So here's what I mean, right? Like, I'm in the mall one day, and there's a brand of hats that I like really fuck with, and so I was looking at hats. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was making sure that was in frame. But yeah, so there was his brand that I really fuck with. So I'm looking at hats, and the brand is called Gorin, bro. So it's like just like an animal on the front. Like, this is, I don't know, this is really cool. And I was looking at one and it had a bee on it, just a bee with just a yellow bee with black stripes, or black with yellow stripes, whatever perspective you have. And I'm looking at this bee, and out of nowhere, I was like, yo, I want to make a guy that's wearing a blue Adidas jumpsuit that has a didgeridoo on his back, and he plays the instrument, and he uses a sound to snipe people.
That's hilarious. I love it.
And it was just like literally that full thing from looking at a bee. And I'm like, oh, bro, hey, let me write that down. So like I have a huge notepad full of like random stuff like that.
My phone notes, whenever I come up with a power, I write it down because I honestly forget them and tweak them all the time. But I have over, I think, 50 now just in there, just powers, not associated with any specific character, just powers, their descriptions, how they work, if they evolve further. That's it. Like, if they have a trump card ability, all of them are just there, just written down.
Yeah, that part is really fun. Just like being able to. I wish I could just think onto the paper and it draws itself. Oh,
that would be so great, dog. I'm telling you. Yo, when AI gets there.
When I found out AR was a thing, I was like, "Oh, this is it." But no, it's not there yet. It's not there yet, but it's
not there yet.
If you're gonna use AI art, I recommend using AI for references. Please pay your artist. I love my artists. If you're gonna use it, use Bing AI generator. It is very good. I think I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna stop the pause for a second, and I'm gonna show you something that I got generated just cause I was bored and wanted to just start doing some stuff when I had some free time at work. Give me a second. I go to my collections. No, I don't want to copy this. Back.
Yeah, I got it pulled up. I'm using this because that's what I use AI for now. I use it for references. Like if I'm trying to do like some kind of crazy background or landscape or something.
Right. Let's see. Where is the collections tab? I know I got it somewhere around here.
Somewhere.
Collections. There it is. So, as an idea of like how I wanted, I guess, my character to end up looking towards the end of the comic, like clothing wise, I was like, I need to generate some stuff so I can tell an artist, because it's trying to explain it is going to be too fucking difficult. So what I ended up doing was I typed it out as this. This was the literal prompt. It said, black man with a beard and half up, half down, dreadlocks, ponytail, wearing cargo pants, black boots, and a sci-fi armor with blue glowing lights. The armor is a cloth hood. It wraps around his neck with two long tail pieces that come from the waistband, anime style, right? So the idea is like at the end, from all that I've learned, whether it be from clothing, from armor, from how I need to move, because in the beginning I start with arguably the most normal clothes next to Diva. Yeah. I have just a white t-shirt, a long, what are they called? Overcoat, like a long overcoated hoodie, and just running shoes and jeans, right? To what evolves to be cargo pants with the pockets. I got boots for combat because I actually use my legs a lot more than I would think. And then this chest piece is actually supposed to be a different set of armor that I wanted to be body tight, like flexible armor, and then the caped hood would just be a wraparound, and this would actually drape just over my pants because I still wanted to keep that moniker of like having a cloak, but didn't want a full cloak anymore. And the body armor is going to be more akin to this over the body, and it's only going to come up to the bottom of the torso. So kind of that evolution of, all right, I do need to protect myself because I'm not heavy on defense. I'm heavy on dodging. But when I do get hit, this seems to hurt a lot. So let's protect this versus everything else. But just having that reference was also good. I also got to make this stuff for, we have a panel at Dreamcon, so be sure to come by. But yeah, I do stuff all the time with it and just like have fun with it sometimes. Using my moniker, Mr. Space Awaits, all that fun stuff. So if you have the chance, use AI as a reference, because it's very helpful, especially in character art.
Yeah, for sure. I'm absolutely coming to the panel, and I also have a panel at Dreamcon.
Yes, sir. Shout out the panel. Come on, what are you doing?
We haven't gotten there yet.
We don't got dates.
Right.
You're right, but you still should shout it out, because by the time this come out, dates will be there. But people need to know what to look for. You feel me?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet.
Because I saw you on the Twitter post. I saw you there.
I was there. I was, you know what I'm saying? Marty McFly's. Yeah, I could shout it out, I guess, towards the end. Yeah. Like let that be the tagline, you know what I'm saying, to the interview.
Yeah, okay, bet. So, the other thing, so you actually selected a power that I love, electricity, lightning. Electrokinesis is my all-time favorite power. I think it has so many applications, especially when you break it down from, because I have a sciencey brain, so I wouldn't just be that guy that's just shooting lightning and shooting arc bolts everywhere. I'm going to damn near the atomic level with this shit. I'm figuring out, can I like affect electrons and protons? Can I like split an atom if I really tried? Like, what is the limit to my electrical control? Or am I just shooting lightning? I want to know. So that's my favorite power because, one, humans are made of water. So I'm already at an advantage there. But in our society, it essentially runs on electricity. So, like,
yeah, for sure. So, lightning is by far the dopest power to ever exist. Just going to say it.
We got another one.
Yeah, for sure. I actually fell in love with, in a very stupid way, I fell in love with lightning from playing a Mario game. It was Mario and Luigi's Superstar Saga. Mm-hmm. And in that game, Mario is able to use fire, but Luigi learns to use lightning. And I was like, what? That's like, because you're like seeing Mario with the fire is like, oh, like, you know, it's like you see it all the time. So, but seeing Luigi with lightning was crazy. So that kind of was the first time that I really like started looking at that as like my favorite power. And yeah, like it's exactly what you just said. Like, unfortunately, with how cool of a power lightning is, almost every depiction of it is literally I can move fast or I can shoot lightning out of my hands. That's it.
That's it. And it makes me so mad.
So much more than that. And I'm going to I could tell you specific powers when we're not on the air.
Right.
But yes, like Rob is going to be, if there's other characters, he's the first person that I'm aware of that's going to really flesh out what it means to have electro production powers, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
So yeah, all that's going to be lit. Even so much so that even in my, you haven't seen it yet, so slight spoiler, but it's not a super big spoiler. But like in my, I think my 10th chapter is called The Sixth Sense. Mm-hmm. And in that chapter, Rob wakes up with the ability to sense the electricity in everybody's body.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Static Shock touched on that a little bit with bioelectricity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, but since we're all humans and we're all special in our own way, we all have our own electrical signature. So once he unlocks that ability, every person he comes in contact with him, it registers to him. Mm-hmm. So now he no longer will feel you as just a sentient power source. He knows that exactly who you are, no matter where you're at.
Right.
And that's just the tip of it, of what I want. I'm getting crazy with all the stuff Rob is going to be able to do.
No, yeah. I think in by chapter 5 of 21 Blackjack, I think I used an ability called electromagnetic detection, right? Where I put my hand on the ground and I was able to see all the people inside the building because I just looked at electrical signal. I'm so glad someone else recognizes that electricity is that powered. Like, people don't realize how many applications it really has. Like, one of the ways that I travel, because I necessarily can't fly, but I jump off of the electrons in the air. And that's how I move around, and that's how I stay airborne, and that's how I move very quickly, right? I do the speed buff thing, but like... Yeah.
Oh, for sure, you got to.
Oh,
you got to. You got to do the speed. I was literally looking up earlier. Oh, you know what? I was like, so... Earlier, when I was reading 21 Blackjack, and I forgot which character said it, but he was like, I can only move Mach 3 in bursts.
Yeah.
And so whenever I saw that, I was like, how fast is Mach 3 compared to lightning? So when I looked it up, I actually found out that lightning, if translated into Machs, would be Mach 364.
Right.
So like if you're gonna use lightning, you gotta have the speed with it. Like you can't not do that.
Exactly. So basically, I'm setting it up so that I'm not super duper fast yet, because otherwise us being stranded on this area doesn't make sense. All right, we should be able to get there lickety split.
Yeah, for sure.
I have to have that build up. You feel me? It's like I can move faster than sound, but I can only move but so fast, so quickly, and in small bursts. It takes a lot of juice to do that right now. You feel me? So like I thought about that because I was like looking all that stuff up, and I was like, because lightning is literally moving not damn near, but light speed essentially to the human eye, right? So it's like you gotta get that build up, and for close up small fights, which we're doing right now, being able to move Mach 3 in the blink of an eye, that acceleration type joint, right? That's a lot for the average person. That's like, damn, he's gone.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. But we right here, bro.
We right here. We locked in.
I actually found two different ways that in which Rob is going to have some sort of mobility. But again, we'll lock in on all that off the air.
Oh yeah, facts. Big facts. Big facts. Diva?
So when it comes, how do you stay disciplined in all of this? Like, because you're writing everything yourself, you're drawing everything yourself. Like, how do you stay focused? Because I know how easy, I mean, you even said earlier, I don't know if it's on this one or the last one, but like you dropped it for a while and you came back. So how are you keeping yourself engaged and like, I'm going to put this out and I'm going to keep putting it out? Because it's hard being an artist out here. It's hard being a creative, and it's not immediate like everybody think. You don't just blow up. It's levels to this shit.
It is.
So how are you staying motivated?
So for me, it was kind of the reason why I also picked it back up. As you did mention, I started working on Infinity Star back in 2017, and I started releasing chapters in 2018, released 4 chapters, and then I just stopped. So for me, it was the realization that as human beings, we tend to fall in love with the idea of. And so what I mean by that is that like a lot of times when people say, you know what, I need to get to the gym. Sometimes you just announcing that you need to go to the gym satisfy your ego enough because you know that you need change, but you don't go to the gym. Because it's like you kind of satisfy yourself with just that acknowledgement, or like when people say, I want to go back to school, or any type of New Year's resolution, it's like you plan to be this better person and do all the things that you want to do. But how many New Year's resolutions come to fruition? Like a lot of them fail along the way. And so for me, it was once I had like those 4 chapters and I was terrible art, but it was cool enough for me. Like I felt cool enough to go to work and be like, yeah, I make manga. I got a little story out there. I got stuff online. But it was like, I got so satisfied with just saying that. And then eventually I was eventually I remember when I moved in this house, I was thinking like literally, what the hell am I doing? Like I have this idea that I believe is like grand. Like in the previous attempt at the pod, you had mentioned that after reading it, you realized that there is a really high ceiling for this as far as like where the story can go. Yeah. And I also mentioned that I was also inspired by One Piece. I want this to be a long story. This is my magnum opus. I want to work on it for a very long time. Mm-hmm. And to me, it was realizing that I had this potential $1 million idea that I'm literally playing with and I'm not doing anything with. So I think for me, it's understanding how it's easy for me to, it's part understanding human nature in the sense that it's easy to stop at any moment I want to play the game. Like, I got my PS5 right here. Like at any point I could just stop and I can play the game, or at any point I can, go play with my kids, or like, but there's that little part that's like, well, if I don't do it now, it's not going to get done. And so for me, I'm just really stuck on myself because, again, I got this story and I'm the only one that can tell it. So I have to tell it.
What you said is so true. It hurts because it's like,
we feel it.
I agree with that. Once you say something or once you've started, it's like for some people it's enough. And breaking out of that habit is definitely hard because like for a solid year I hadn't worked on it. I hadn't worked on a thing. I was lacking with the pod. We went to Dreamcon, got that battery in my back, and started getting back to work, catching up on podcasts, started writing again. Like I haven't written in a little bit just because things have been a little bit hectic still. But in terms of like just feeling like I've done something, it's true. Yeah. You do feel that way. Hence why I also got a dedication tattoo, but mine just says Space Awaits because that's my solo moniker. But I got it on my neck because it's like one of those things where it's like neck tattoos are, forbidden in corporate America. So it's kind of like that push that you need you need to do something before someone finds out. Like they're gonna see it. It doesn't matter. But like it's one of those things where it's like you're dedicated. You got to be dedicated. You have to put your best foot forward at all times if you want to get out of corporate America to do this thing that you love with this, like you said, $1 million idea that only you can do. Because something I've always noticed is that like podcasts, right? During COVID, hundreds of them popped up. How many are still here? How many people really gave up by year 2, by year 4 now?
we're in year 4 of the podcast, and it was like, I will say year 3 was the roughest for us. Like year 3 was rough.
It had the most change of all.
The most change,
honestly.
but coming back to it, because we were like recording like once a month at one point, like just one episode a month, but coming back to it regularly, I don't know, like it feels good, like it's different,
and we're doing even more,
right? But we're starting to, and I say this to like everybody out there who's a creative, to just stay with it, because we're starting to get some fruits of this labor.
We're starting to have our stride, is what I'd call it, because it's finally starting to give back.
Yeah, right. And the fruits taste good. Like, I know we eat for a while. We were hungry. We were starving over here, but it tastes good. So you mentioned One Piece, and I do want you to mention again, like, how One Piece inspired you. One Piece is an amazing story, and like I said before, from the I'm caught up. Greg is not, but I'm caught up. So once it finished, I was like, what's about to happen? I went into that moment, which I encourage us anime and manga nerds to not do. Where's the next chapter? It's really how I was when I finished, because I was like, no, how dare you stop right here? You give me more. So I want you to talk about how like One Piece has inspired you, and like how you're about writing this story, and just the influence and the anime and comics have had on your writing style.
So so for me, like I said, I've always been infatuated with the hero's journey. Maybe it's because I have main character syndrome. I don't know. That might be part of it, but like, it's something about like seeing somebody go against adversity and everything. And so for me, I really fell in love with One Piece because I don't remember. I'm gonna find out who said it, because I say this all the time, and I need to especially because for Dreamcon, I need to make sure I know who said it, but I read a quote from somebody that wrote a very grandiose story that most great writers tend to try to focus on one of the two instead of finding that balance, because finding the balance is almost impossible. Now, there are some stories that do it, but it's really hard to find a balance between character development and world building. And so for me, when I had to figure out examples of both, so when you look at a story like Naruto, I mean, it's called Naruto, like, we get little hints of what the world of Naruto is like, but Naruto is literally the story about this kid trying to become the Hokage and how his mind adapts to the struggles of the world and everything. Whereas when you look at Harry Potter, even though the story is called Harry Potter, it's more so about the world of Harry Potter, because again, Harry Potter is the same character he was at the beginning. It's more of a coming to age story. That's how they express character development with coming to age. But Harry Potter is 100% world building. If you don't believe that, if you remove the main character, if the series is still successful, then the main character was never needed. And Hogwarts Legacy was a really big game. Mm-hmm. It was a really big game, and Fantastic Beasts is acting an ass. So those stories can't continue without Harry Potter, because we love the world. Like, I'm not going to buy a Gryffindor cloak. I'm going to buy a Hufflepuff because I like black and gold. So like, and I like the lore behind everything. So to me, when I wanted to,
like even with that, like look at Universal, like you don't have it's not called Harry Potter World. You have Hogsmeade, you have Diagon Alley, and now you're getting the Ministry of Magic. Like, it's not character focused. It's very much focused on the world of Harry Potter.
Yeah, and Harry's our avatar through the world. You know, he's our way to like, as he's experienced all this magic for the first time, as are we. So he's our motorcycle through this, but and it's the same thing with One Piece for me. Like, I really enjoyed how, well, one, I love pirates. I'm Panamanian, I'm Caribbean. Like, my ancestors are pirates. So like, I've always loved pirates. Hence why I say I like black and gold. Like, but I love pirates. And so that was like one thing, but I really love the story that Oda built. Like, Oda built such a magnificent story with One Piece, that there's so many cultures, there's so many ways of living, there's so many types of life. There's places where they don't even have kings, they have dictators, you know, and how the government acts here. There's literally, it's a history. The story of One Piece is literally them trying to figure out forgotten history. Like, there's so much to that world, and that's the thing that I love. Like, I think one of the examples I use for One Piece is that I don't know if you guys watch One Piece or not, because I don't want to give too many details if y'all
Caught up. Manga and anime.
Okay, cool. So we know Apu, right? Like the three-armed tribe. Like, we know Apu. Now, have the three-armed tribe ever been like fully fleshed out? We just hear, hey, there's a tribe of people called the three-armed tribe. But it's so good. Like, Oda is so masterful at that writing that whenever you see somebody from that tribe, it's like it's easy to point out. Like, it's like we know what a Skypian looks like, but we spend a whole arc with them. We've never spent an arc with the three-armed tribe for somebody to be just so identifiable. Or and to me, like, that's crazy. Like, to hear like Joy Boy and all this other stuff. The only one thing I don't like about One Piece is Gear 5th. It's terrible writing, but everything else is solid. So I don't like. Let me rephrase that. I love Gear Fruit. Gear Fruit. I love Gear 5th. Mm-hmm. I don't like the Nika fruit. I think
you don't like that. You should have said. You think it should have stayed the gum fruit. Nah.
It could have. There was no reason to change it. Like, there's nothing. So the reason why to me it's bad writing is that, like, because Oda made Luffy's awakening his gear, not his Gear 5th, but his Nika form. Because he did that, we expected Kaido to have an awakening. When truth of the matter is that Zoans aren't supposed to have awakenings. Like, well, they have awakenings, but their awakenings aren't a new form. We learned that way back in Impel Down with the guard. Their awakening is just supposed to be more durability and just recovery, which makes sense for Kaido, because Kaido had that durability and that recovery. So that's what a Zoan awakening was always supposed to be. But because of,
even when we met Rob Lucci, he explained that in his belief, Zoans were the most powerful type, because it's like Zoans don't have a cap on their power. You train as a Zoan, you just get stronger. Period. Right. It's limitless.
So to me, like, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, and then you got a lot of, I guess, similarities and like relationships when you looked at other paramecias like Doflamingo and Katakuri and their awakenings, and you're just thinking like, okay, Luffy awakens, even if his awakening is still like this toony like thing that it does to stuff, that's fine, because it's rubber, it's elastic, it's malleable, and that's what I would think that it went to. But yeah, the Nika form. And it's
still, so the way that we see, like, the way that power is shown to us, all of that could have still existed with the gum fruit. Like, none of that had to change. The only one detail we may have lost would have been the white hair. That is it. Like, because like that shows like an actual transformation kind of thing. But like, we would like everything about the Gear 5th could have stayed the gum fruit. It just would have been its awakening, as you said, like with Katakuri and Doflamingo. Like, the way that those were depicted, that same thing could have been kept.
Yeah.
And then the final thing that makes it bad writing to me is that, since when do you have to awaken your Zoan fruit to even transform to that form? Like, Sengoku is like the gold Buddha, and maybe he was awakened. I'd imagine him being awakened or whatever, but like, to me, that was kind of weird that like Luffy's Zoan is the only Zoan that required awakening to transform to said form. And then not only that, is there a hybrid form now? Like, is there a hybrid Nika form where it's Monkey D Nika? Or
that'd be kind of cool. I mean, some people speculate that. So as they said in the translation is easy. The fruit does give you the properties of rubber. So we lied and said it's the gum fruit just so that people wouldn't go looking for a mythical Zoan type, right? But it's also explained that it's limited to your imagination. So with that being said, I'm pretty sure that it's like that, and not like how you would prefer it to be, because that's how Luffy imagines it. His imagination is what fuels all that, and that's why when he's awakened, he can do all this cartoonish shit, because his imagination's just going. He's just doing whatever, and it just happens because he wants it to, right? Versus like something like Red Rock. That shouldn't work. He shouldn't just be able to ignite. We now know Red Rock just works because that nigga imagines his fist lighting on fucking fire.
That's fair. That's 100% fair. Out of Red Rock is not Red Rock, but Red Hawk.
Red Hawk?
Is my which is like the weaker form of Red Rock, but like still. So yeah, that's fair, right? Like the Ace's Will, that didn't make sense to me, but but yeah, that's just my only gripe with it because like to me it's just you having Luffy's awakening like that now had people disappointed with the outcome of the Kaido fight because why did Kaido not awaken? How can Kaido, King of the Beast, not be awakened when Doflamingo, a man that was afraid of him, was? So like that's why to me, like when I saw that, I was like, well, the awakening for his Zoma would have been durability, so Kaido should have always been awakened or whatever. But it is what that's just my opinion. That's just my little gripe, you know. So,
I feel you. I think it boils down to ambition at that point because Luffy and Doflamingo, to me, were more ambitious than old ass Kaido, who honestly just kind of wanted to die at this point. He's like, look.
Fair.
I'm done.
Somebody take me out.
Somebody take me out. He was disappointed when Luffy got knocked out. Like, fuck. I was supposed to die.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Because otherwise, if Kaido still had that drive, he would have woken. I think. That's just me though.
I feel it. Like, I think my opinion is never law. So I like any examples that you can have that goes against how I feel about it. Like I accept, like, you know, like I think you're absolutely right. Like Kaido, even at the beginning, Kaido was like the way that Big Mom talks to him. He was like she was little broing him a lot. So like, so it could be a situation where Kaido just never had to, or even now where it's like, hey, now let's go hunt for the One Piece, but I mean click up with Big Mom first. So it could just be some shit that he just never had that self-image of himself to propel himself to that point.
Dog in him.
That dog ran away. He had it at one point, but like he lost that dog.
He got comfortable.
He got too comfortable. That's all it is. That shows you when you're in power, don't get comfortable, else you get knocked out like Kaido. Simple as that.
Hey, while we're on the topic though, Doflamingo by far one of the greatest anime antagonists.
He is a very, 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 very well written villain, in my opinion.
I love villains who are just like, yes, he like has some reasons to be evil, but at his core, he just mean because he can be mean. Yeah, and I love that. Yep. I love a villain who's just like, this is who I am. I don't like y'all. Fuck, y'all are all beneath me. Fuck you.
Yeah, like I think for me, it was like when you find out that Doflamingo was a celestial dragon, right? And you see how rotten they were, how stuck up they were, and then you give a celestial dragon that much power. Like to me, that was like that's the thing about Doflamingo that was just crazy. Like he was calculated, like, and to me, he was the perfect opposition to Luffy, right? Because you have Luffy, who's like super big smile, super optimistic, and took a power as stupid as rubber and turned it to this grandiose power that's like overpowered at this point.
Right.
And he did the exact same thing with a smile with string. Like if he said, I ate the string fruit, nigga, that's whack.
So many people would be like, man, now I can't swim. My dude said, I'm a fly by grabbing the clouds and refix my organs by replacing them with strings. That was the craziest one. That was that made me so mad. I'm like, what happens when I just beat your organs in too much? Are you just string now, my nigga? Like, what?
Bro, he repaired himself with, like, that blew my mind, bro.
I would have never thought of that. I'm not going to lie to you. Out of all the things I would have thought of, not that.
The birdcage, too, was insane.
The birdcage? So here's my thing, right? When you making powers and stuff, I'm planning on showing people how we figure it out. When do niggas have the time to figure out they can make a city-sized bird cage that just clips everything in there? Where do you practice this?
Like, let me just...
Because not only did he do that, but he continued to fight inside of the bird cage the whole time. Oh, yeah. Like, when do you find out, I can legit, like, do that?
How strong is this? Like, Oro can't push it?
Right.
Oro can't push it? Cool.
That's crazy. Yeah, because you got to practice something like that. Like, you got to be like, yo, let me test something out on you real quick. What you mean? Just stand right here for about like 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. That's all I need.
Let me try something.
But who Law put his gamma knife on?
Facts. But that was a wonderful interview. Please shout out that thing you got going on at Dreamcon. You feel me? Let us know. Big
So
announcement.
if you are interested in the manga making process, me and my co-host TR Comics, that's TR Comics on IG, we will be hosting a panel at Dreamcon, date TBD. And the panel will be making manga for dummies, where we will give you the insight to how we got published, where to go for publishing, different type of equipment, the actual process and story writing process. We really lock in and try to give y'all all the juice. So hit me up.
Appreciate it. Most definitely. And be sure to also check out the Be More Nerdy podcast that will be doing our signature game, Level Up. So be sure to come, because you could be named the Level Up champion and there will be prizes.
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But speaking of games, I have a game for you all today. So let's get into our topic, which today is a fun little game. This game is called Is It Real Anime/Manga? Where I give off a title of an anime/manga, and you guys give me your answer if you think it's real. It doesn't have to be the same. You guys could have different answers. What is your question?
Are there some easy ones?
There is some easy ones.
Okay.
However, you won't think they're easy. Ha 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 ha. So, you guys ready to play our little game?
Are we like buzzing in, or we just...
Nope, both of you are going to give me an answer, and then I'll give you points.
Okay, both give an answer. Got it. Okay.
Bet. All right, the first title...
Backsies.
Huh?
No backsies on your answer. Whatever you say is it.
All right, the first title is Cautious Hero. Is it real or is it fake? Diva?
It's real.
It's real? All right, Marshall, is it real or is it fake?
I'm going to say it's fake.
That is a point for Diva. Cautious Hero is a real title.
I heard of it.
All right. Question number 2. World Seed.
What? I'm gonna go fake.
You're gonna go fake?
I'm gonna go true.
You're gonna go true? That's another point for Diva. World Seed is not the name of an anime or manga, surprisingly.
That sounds like something, don't it?
It does sound like something, right?
Yeah, like some Nordic based off of Yggdrasil. Like.
So, the next one is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? Diva, your answer's real?
Yes.
I'm gonna say that's real too. It's like Panic at the Disco. Like,
correct. That is a real anime title. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? It is on Crunchyroll if you want to watch it. It's about a guy named Bell. He has a dope power. His power is essentially a super crit. Yeah. Next one. What is it? Secret 8.
Secret 8?
Yep, Secret 8, like the number 8. Secret 8. Is it real or is it fake?
I'm say nah.
All right, Marshall says nah. Diva?
I want to say no, but I don't think you're going to like give us the answers in a pattern. And I feel like the pattern has been back and forth. So I feel like you're trying to switch it up on me.
What's your answer, Diva?
I'm going to say no.
It is not a real anime. You both get a point. That's a good name, right? I'll be just making names up. That was a good one.
That's right.
Oh, all the false ones I made up.
You're creative.
All right, next one. I died as a gamer and was revived as a hero in an RPG.
I'm gonna say true.
I'm going to say false.
That is false.
Yes.
That's another point for Diva.
But we need to play this game more often. I'm real good at this.
All right. Next one is the misfit of Demon King Academy. History's strongest Demon King reincarnates and goes to school with his descendants in is assuming power trip series set in high school.
I'm gonna say yeah, man. There's no way you wrote all that.
So anime of the title.
You said y'all both saying yeah?
Yes.
Yes. Shortened title is The Misfit Demon King.
There you go. It's like, what was that? Don't be a menace in the hood. It sounds super.
Yes.
All right. Next title is Lost Geode, from philosopher to alchemist in search of the Philosopher's Stone.
I think I've heard of this. I'm going to say yes.
Okay. Marshall?
I think I'm gonna say yes for the same reason I said last time.
You are both wrong. I made that up.
You know what? Congratulations. That was a really cool name.
Right? I was like, dog, this is a dope ass name.
That was fun.
I'm not done. There's more.
Oh, how many more you got? Oh, you got more? Okay.
Yeah. The next title. I didn't want to get hurt, so I maxed out my defense. Is it real or is it fake?
No. I think this is real. I think this one's real. I feel like we've talked about it on the pod before. I'm gonna go real.
Okay, Diva's going real.
I'm gonna go false.
It is real. Shortened name is Bofui.
We've talked about it on the pod before, haven't we?
Yes, I loved it. Season 1 was hilarious. Girl, she's never played RPGs before. She gets a VR game set and she doesn't want to get hurt, so she literally maxes out her defense and then eats a dragon because she can't hurt it, so she eats it.
Okay.
But then she gets like all these superpowers because like no one's ever defeated the dungeon solo. No one's ever defeated it that way. And then she gets a special armor and all. It's crazy. It's hilarious though because it's comedy. All right. Next title. Rosario Vampire.
I'm gonna say false.
I'm gonna say true.
That is correct. That was one of the first anime I ever watched. It's about a guy who goes to a monster and demon school as a human. And yeah, it's a shogo. It has some action, but it's definitely a shogo.
I'm gonna just put this out here. I am not cheating. I did not know of this list.
Oh no, she never saw this list.
Topic.
Nah, that's cool. I feel like I have the list and I'm still picking the wrong answer. Like, the teacher said, like, the only way you got a 0 is if you knew all the answers, like, and you chose the wrong ones. Like, I feel like that's what's happening.
So there's actually 5 more, so you have a chance to tie, and I have a tiebreaker.
Let's get it.
Limitless Drive. Is it real or is it fake?
True.
Diva?
It's false.
It is false. I made that up. Ori and the Will of the Wisp.
You made that up. The Will of the Wisp is from Brave.
Yeah, I was about to say, I wanted to say it was true, but because I've been wrong, I'm going against my better judgment and saying false.
It is false. It's actually a video game title.
Okay.
So, both got a point on that. All right. The next topic is Trickster.
That's true. I can see that being true. Simplistic enough.
I'm gonna say false. It's too simple.
That's a point for Marshall. The comeback's real. Next title. Spice and Wolf.
Yes.
Yes.
Wait, or is it Stefan?
Are you changing your answer?
No, it's no backseas. I said that.
All right. You are both correct. That is a title.
Solid.
Next title. The Blood of Kings. True or false?
Yes. No.
That
false.
sounds like some shit you would say. I'm gonna say false.
I'm gonna say false.
That is correct. That does not exist. And the last one. Monochrome.
Yes.
Yes.
Incorrect.
No.
That was the title of my first comic. Monochrome.
Oh, is that really the title of the first one?
Correct. That is the title of the first comic I ever wrote.
With Grimm?
Yes, with Blue Grimm.
I remember that.
Never finished it. Wrote it. Fleshed out ideas, storyboarding, everything. Drew it myself with that one.
It's still on the wall in the basement.
Yup.
At mommy's house. My mom framed it. Put it on the wall.
Yup.
So proud.
But final score 17-7. Diva wins.
Oh, so that is my favorite number. I also win.
So Diva currently is the Is It Real manga / anime edition challenge. That was a fun game. I gotta have you play against Heed.
Fair. He knows everything.
That's funny.
He's watched all of them.
That was a fun little game.
Yeah, that
was solid.
We'll have to bring that back.
Almost definitely. So, well, let's get right into the news topic. So the first news topic is a sad one. Currently, Dubai is flooding, or last week it was at least. This was apparently caused to... apparently in Dubai, it's really dry out there, so they kind of force humidity with trucks all around, and I guess they oversaturated the air and made too much humidity, which caused a series of like biblical rains to the point where buildings were flooding like crazy. Prayers and shout outs to everyone there. Hoping that y'all are all okay, because that flooding was bad. If you guys haven't seen the videos, they're all over Twitter, all over YouTube, all over any social media site you want to go to.
It was really bad. It's crazy out there.
Yeah, most definitely. Just want to keep everyone up to date on that. That's it's kind of crazy because like Dubai is like a travel destination and it's like travel season. So like thinking that someone probably went out there and it's like, we about to have a great time, and then it's like flooded. It's like, damn.
Well, I mean, even staying in the hotels in Dubai, like if you were stuck inside, I think you still probably had a great
You
time.
better hope you're on the top floor.
Yeah. Also that.
But that's just the first news point. Going to the next one, we're getting right into the anime. Kaiju number 8 came out and has been getting great reviews. I believe it's on episode 4 right now. I knew about Kaiju number 8 for a little bit now, and I've been excited for that as well as the next thing on this list. Anybody watched the first couple episodes yet?
No.
I have not, but so I've actually, back to One Piece, I've actually been binge watching One Piece with my wife because she's been wanting to get into it. And we just finished Wano. We got to Egghead, so we're almost at the finish line.
Yeah.
But every time we get into Crunchyroll, I see that at the top, and I'm like, yo, these guys look pretty tight. Like, I'm going to give that a watch. So I'm just waiting for us to finish that, and then I'm locked in on that.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Kaiju number 8 is a story about a guy. He's a part of like the defense force for fighting kaijus, as you might know. And this is about a grown-ass man. Finally, we don't have a anime about a child or a teenager. So this is like a 30-odd-some-year-old, and he's not good at his job. He's not good at fighting, and he gets mysteriously attacked by like a small kaiju that bites onto his tongue, and eventually ends up turning him into one. And he takes on the persona of Kaiju number 8 and fights kaijus with the defense force as a kaiju.
Fine.
So
Tight.
yeah, so it's kind of like I would call it like a biomech type of show.
Okay.
Think about it like that, yeah.
It sounds like a playoff of like Attack on Titan in a sense, like the earlier seasons, like
Yeah.
the Titans.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
sounds pretty cool.
So that's what you're getting. A lot of people have been enjoying it so far, especially I've heard really good reviews. I haven't watched either. I plan on like kind of binging it once it's done and just getting through all of it. Maybe I'll watch it while it's like almost halfway through. But I've been hearing good things. I'm excited for it. I'm gonna watch it, and we'll do a quick little review when that officially comes down the pipeline.
Yeah.
The next one, another great that I've been keeping track of, that I said I'm gonna watch it, and then once I finish the show, I'm gonna read it. Go Loser Rangers, the play on Power Rangers. However, it's based off of if the Rangers were kind of like the Boys, but Power Rangers. The Rangers are low-key evil. They beat the villain years ago, and now every Sunday they make them kind of reenact their victory, but no one else knows, and they've been doing it for profit and all that. So I want to watch it because it's actually about a villain who's trying to get into the Rangers and sabotage them. So we love a good villain story.
I've been seeing that one on Crunchyroll as well, and I already knew I wanted to watch it because I always love bad good guys, if that makes sense.
Right. The only thing I'm sad about with this is the fact that like it was heavily publicized that it was going to come out around this time, but Kaiju number 8 I guess has the bigger budget and took it over. Like they had the countdown for Kaiju number 8, but Go Loser Rangers is like kind of, I'm not gonna say falling by the wayside, but like I feel like it's gonna get overshadowed, and then because of it, it's not gonna do as well. But I think it's gonna be great. Hopefully, off merit, people will be talking about it.
Yeah. Especially when things start to slow back down.
Yeah.
And people are looking for stuff to watch.
Yeah. What do you think, Marshall?
Yeah, no, I think that'll be really cool. Especially because I forgot what it was called, but there was like that animation that came out a couple years back when it was about the Green Ranger. I don't know. I forgot what Lord I forgot what it was called, but it was a play on if Tommy stayed like evil. Yeah. And like that evil ranger, he also like infused the White Ranger's power into himself. So RIP to Tommy, by the way. He was the GOAT. Yeah, so I think anything that kind of takes like the Power Ranger story and kind of flip it is really cool, because the Power Rangers that we grew up on was like kind of cookie cutter. But when you see like the Power Ranger comic books, when they actually show like the blood and shit,
the
like,
Power Ranger comic books are like, people don't know, like
crazy.
The true Power Ranger fans, they like gore, because like Power Rangers was like, they was getting active.
Right.
Yeah, like it wasn't it was like niggas actually getting cut the fuck up. Like people were dying. It's crazy. So if you ever get a chance to pick up a Power Rangers comic book, actually read it. It's pretty good reads. that being said, Solo Leveling finished its run for season 1. I'm a Solo Leveling fan. He put me on to reading it. I read it in a weekend, essentially. It's that good. From what I'm hearing, everyone loves it. Most people are upset that where it ended, because it didn't end cliffhangery. It ended like, next episode is going to be fire. And people are like, we're done? Yes. But that's kind of how Solo Leveling, every arc of Solo Leveling ends on a big high. It's not like other stuff where, like, you know, you get the drop off and then we pick back up. It usually ends on a big high and you start on the come down and you're immediately right back on the come up. And then the come up takes forever, and then it is a huge climax of like just action and story, and it's so good. Like, I love Solo Leveling and I can't wait. I cannot wait. Thoughts on Solo Leveling? Everyone? Anyone?
I've been
that's
that I haven't got to watch it. Go ahead.
Yeah, just like the Kaiju number 8, like that's also on that watch list. I have a lot of things on my watch list too, so like because obviously I'm at my desk drawing all the time, so that's absolutely one of them. I mean, also that was a webtoon, wasn't it? I think I read that somewhere.
It was. So I think it started off as a webtoon, and then it got moved to somewhere else because it is Korean based, and it was, what is it called? It's a manhwa. So I think it originally started on webtoon. I think that's one of the first things I saw on webtoon, but eventually got moved to another one of those like sites. So yeah, it definitely was there at one point. I know that for a fact. But yeah, it's they also have another one called Ragnarok, which is the part 2 of it. So hopefully, if it does well enough, it'll get that part 2 as well.
Yeah.
Next news point: The Wolf Among Us 2 leaks came out. If you don't know, that's Telltale Games' story about the big bad wolf, where there's a man named Big B Wolf. Get it? Big bad wolf, Big B Wolf. He's a detective in fairy tale land, essentially, and it's more of a grim take on it. Like, some princesses and stuff are prostitutes and stuff. Like, life's not sweet out here. Yeah, it's bad. There's murder and niggas dying, and he's supposed to keep the order. That's what my man's Big B Wolf does. And part 2 is coming out because part 1 was very critically acclaimed and everyone loved it. It told a great story, great quick time events. It was dope. Really
that was
good. One
of those storytelling games, right?
Yep. By Telltale Games, the same guys that made the Walking Dead story.
Yeah.
There's something coming out with like a play on fairy tale creatures. It's like really dark. Oh, it's a game. There's this game.
I swear to God, if it's what I just said, I'm gonna laugh.
No. It may be maybe it's a movie. I don't know. It's based off of the Brothers Grimm. That's how I know it's not that.
You talking about what Darren sent us?
Did Darren send that to us?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's on Netflix right now, and it's an anime on all the Brothers Grimm story, except it's like more dark and gothic. Like, the clip she sent me, Red Riding Hood was getting eaten by the big bad wolf. And he was like, yeah, except it was like hella sexual undertones. It was like, oh, you're so wet. And his like mouth's covered in blood. And she's like, why'd you bite me? And I'm like, that was overly horny. I know who this is for.
Yeah, it's like a dark telling. They say a dark telling of the Brothers Grimm, but the Brothers Grimm is already dark, so I don't know how much darker it must be. Darker than that.
Darker than Black. Great anime, by the way.
But it's because like this. Basically, the guy who's writing these stories, his sister asks like, what happens after the happy ending? Is it always a happy ending? And he's like, and then starts telling the stories like that. So I am going to watch that on Netflix. Again, my watch list is really long, but I've been busy updating my portfolio and my website and all that other stuff because I haven't done it since moving to Florida, apparently. So
it's a long time, everybody.
Yeah.
Years. Fallout, the series already got confirmed for season 2. Barely ended even like 3 weeks ago, honestly. And they are confirmed for season 2. Fallout, I watched the whole thing. It was great pacing, great story. Made me want to play Fallout. And Fallout 76 had a resurgence. That's the game. Because of it. So is Fallout 4. Either you two Fallout fans?
So I'm a huge Skyrim fan.
Okay.
And so whenever Fallout 4 had came out, I think that was at a time that I wasn't really like playing video games that much, but I played far enough to get to that town where all those like death. I forgot what they're called. You know what I'm talking about, the
Death Claws.
The death claws, man. One climbed out the ground, and I was like,
"Nah,
I'm not ready for this." And that's where I stopped. But yeah, no, Fallout is a phenomenal game. That's one of those things that me and my wife are ready to binge right after these last 10 episodes that we got of OP. But yeah, I'm super excited about that.
It was very good. Diva, you would like it. Mom would like it. I think you should watch it. It's
Really?
It's very easily bingeable. It's not hard to follow. You don't need to know any other thing about the Fallout story. They give you the information, and it kind of runs a show in kind of that like flashback. Like we get some information in the beginning of episodes, usually a flashback to before the nukes dropped, and then like more of the episode. And they don't leave anything up to chance by the end of the series. By season 1, all the questions that you have been answered. Thank God. I love it in some shows. I hate it in others. This would have been a show where I hated it. But all your answers are answered. All your questions are answered by the end of season 1. Definitely watchable.
Yeah, my personal watch list is so long. It sounds like something I would watch with Chris. But our current, like, my personal watch list is long, but me and Chris's watch list is even longer. Like, it takes us forever to get through shows. We're almost caught up on all of the seasons of RuPaul Drag Race, which I like. And I'm talking like all regular seasons, which are 16, and all All-Star seasons. We have 1 more All-Star season and 2 more regular seasons. And that's only because of a season just ended. And then like I'm getting them into Avatar the Last Airbender, but they also want to watch the live action while we watch the animated to like compare and contrast. So I'm busy over here. You watch stuff.
I think you need to start separating some of the shows and like her just bring notes to you, because this is taking forever for you to catch up.
It's taking forever. I'm coming.
Speaking of shows and how critically acclaimed they'll be, an adaptation for Kingdom Hearts is in the works by Disney. However, at the current moment, it is unclear if it will be a movie or show. I love this. Kingdom Hearts is such a cinematic game that this works. It's very easy to work. You can use so many of your IPs. You could, even if they did an adaptation where it's all the worlds we never saw them go to, it still works. Why? Because they go to so many places. They talk to so many people. The manga is completely different than how the game plays out. And there's also hidden stories. Or we could follow a different Keyblade wielder. Because like in the last game, you find out that the phone game actually had a lot of weight to it. The phone game was like, there was tons of different Keyblade wielders, and like that was the point of the game. You make your own character, you're a Keyblade wielder in the Keyblade Wars, and blah 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 blah. Like, and it actually ended up playing a role in the final game. Like, you're about to fucking die, and then all the spirits from the Keyblade wielders who died in the Keyblade War come and sort of fucking surfs on 100,000 Keyblades as they charge at the guy, and it's like a great scene. Like, it's fucking dope. So like, it's very possible, very doable, and you have a lot of play. You feel me? Almost, it's too big to fail. One of those.
Yeah, first I saw. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was
gonna say I have a really weird relationship with Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is probably the only game I've ever seen from start to finish that I never played. And that's because, my little brother used to love that game. And so I always sat there and I've always watched them play it. I thought that the lore was like really cool, visiting the different worlds. All that is like was super jazzy to me. And so much so that like the recent one was like Kingdom Hearts 3, right? Like I think that was like the most recent one.
Yeah, that was the newest one that came out fucking 15 years later.
Right. And then the reason I didn't buy 3 was because to me it was a very similar situation to like why I don't play Final Fantasy, because I've always felt like Final Fantasy was a game that you had to play the previous ones.
Right.
It wasn't until recently that I found out that every game is its own game.
They're their own fucking game. And you know why they named it Final Fantasy?
Was that?
You know why they named it Final Fantasy?
Why is that?
They thought it was going to be their last game. But it did so well that it was like, oh shit. And then after that, they just stuck with the name and it became a franchise. But like they thought it was going to be their like last game.
Yeah, and so that was like I had that same feeling with Kingdom Hearts. Like I didn't want to pick it up, But then when I seen that there was a 4 that they are apparently working on right now, I'm absolutely gonna pick that up because I'm not missing out anymore.
I never played, so my relationship with Kingdom Hearts is very similar to yours. I didn't play, but my brother did, and like I would just watch him play like all the time. And I'm a big Disney fan. I mean, my ears are right behind me. And we'll do ears later. But so like I'm familiar with it, but I think a movie is a great way to get like kind of everybody, even or a show. I think it'll make a great movie or show. And this may be a news topic you have. I'll call it a great transition. But it's something we didn't ask for, but that we could use and would want. Unlike this Mufasa movie that they're trying to shove down our throats that I don't want to see.
I think I read that Zendaya plans on playing Kiara, and I was like, that doesn't add up in the slightest. Because why would Kiara be in the movie if it's about Mufasa?
So if you haven't heard, Disney is doing, it releases in December, like the same way they did the Lion King with like the live action lions, the CGI lions. They're doing a Mufasa, and it's the story of Mufasa, who apparently wasn't born of royal blood, and it's going to be like how he became the Mufasa we know. I was talking to Jordan, and she said a great point. I don't want the backstory of a person who's dead. I don't need it. He not here. I'm not going to see him no more. This is not what I asked of you. And even the Lion King, like the version of Lion King, yes, it did well. And I get that y'all are going off, oh, this movie did so well, so we're going to do this. But it didn't do that well. Well, it did well, but it wasn't because like it was done well. It's because of the hype of the Lion King, and it was the second live action thing that was released, and Cinderella did really well, and because it was just like a new telling of the story, and the costumes were really good, so everybody thought this was a good idea. But
I fell asleep. That's summing up. I love the Lion King. I fell asleep.
It was just weird watching those like realistic lions like talk. Like
watching a lion talk was crazy
because they don't emote. Like you can't make them emote the way you can make an animated lion emote, like emotion and stuff like that. So you don't get those feels. It's just a lion talking, which is creepy. So
I might be on the opposite end here.
Really?
So when I seen the live, I'm a huge Childish Gambino fan. Like, he's my guy. So when I found out he was playing Simba, and then that duet that him and Beyonce had to such a classic song was like beautiful to me. But besides all that, right? Mm-hmm. I can agree with the lions not being able to show that much emotion. I 100% agree. Lions being able to talk, CG lions, all that is weird. But I guess the part where I'm on a different side of the spectrum on is the getting the backstory on somebody that's dead. Like, I think because Mufasa was such a pivotal character to like Lion King, I think I would kind of like, like for not nothing. For like, I'm not expecting this to be like the greatest thing ever. You know what I'm saying? I think just as something cool to pop up on my TV one day, I think it'll be pretty cool to see like a story of like how Mufasa, because him not being born royal blood, that sounds like a pretty fire story, like rags to riches. And I would like to see that, just for him to be the noble man that he was for Simba. And I'm sure Scar will be present too, because they were brothers. So like, I would like to see like a little bit of that. And for me, like, it was kind of like when with Naruto, right? Like, they did a whole Minato manga about like his dad's backstory.
That was very well accepted over here. I wanted it. I get that he's dead, but I wanted that. I wanted to know about Minato.
It was fire too.
It's also crazy.
And go ahead and animate that.
It's also crazy that you said that, because you love Spartacus, and Spartacus is about Spartacus, the actual person who died, and we know he died.
I know that when I watched it. So
learn some history.
So yeah, let's try. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no. So I don't think it would be like, even with the last Lion King. Like, I wasn't expecting. It's just me. I'm not everybody's opinion, but I wasn't expecting it to be this super huge, critically acclaimed, like the movie of the year kind of thing. I think it was just a fun thing to do for that day, and I think that this is going to scratch that same itch. It's going to be something fun to do that day. So.
Right.
I think I would probably receive it more if it was animated. Like if they took it back to like a 2D animation, like the original, because like I said, those CGI lions aren't giving what I guess they think they're giving.
You know what I would like? Let's do meet me in the middle. Give me the new Disney animation, The Lion King. I think it would do very well with that. Like how they did like things like Turning Red. I think they do very good with that cross, almost lifelike but claymation-y animation. I think it would be really good. I think we could do that.
I would take that. I would take that over like the realism version.
Right.
Agreed. I could agree with that.
But if you ever want to know why I have so much love for Kingdom Hearts, one, I wasn't a huge Final Fantasy fan, so like seeing those characters was always interesting. But two, Kingdom Hearts has a great story, like you said, great lore. But Kingdom Hearts 2's ending, dog, I go back and watch that ending to this day, cause that shit was fire. Just look up the ending. It is Riku and Sora versus Xemnas. Crazy. It was like a QuickTime event. So, and that was when QuickTime events was popping. 2 games I watch religiously. Like I have an itch that I gotta see. That and the end of Asura's Wrath. Goated. If you don't know, you don't know. But if you know, that nigga punched God because his daughter cried. Just so you know. But yeah. Asura's
the cojones.
Next news point. Xbox is having a gaming show. Xbox games having their showcase on June 9th. I'll be tuning into that and give you the cliff notes of it. But that's usually when they have a live stream where they show all the new games that are coming out and what's planned for the year, what's planned for the Game Pass, what's going here, what's going there, what they plan to do, next moves. Everybody has their showcases. I think 2 already happened this year, the PlayStation and Nintendo showcase. Sometimes they do multiple in a year, but it's usually just to give gamers the rundown of what's going on for the next year, because they haven't done E3 in a little bit. And E3 kind of died out with things like COVID and stuff. So what they've been doing is a showcase where they kind of have everyone send a video, do a live stream, less people, same audiences, can spend just as much, if not more money, or less money actually. But yeah, so that's coming out. So be on the lookout for our review of that. Look at us going on tangents.
Right.
Always. It wouldn't be us if we didn't tangent. Do you have more news, or are we going into week?
We have 2 more news. So first news point, welcome back. But next news point is Kendrick Lamar released his diss response to Drake's Push Up.
My God.
I heard it. It's 6 minutes.
Dog, it's so good.
It's really.
If I had to give a round 1, so Push Ups versus Euphoria, Kendrick.
Mm-hmm.
Easy, Kendrick.
Euphoria.
Okay.
I would say this. So like, I love rap beef, and so like, I think the reason why Kendrick wins is not just because it's a better songs. I think because Kendrick stayed on topic, whereas Drake was shooting at multiple targets, and so the only shots that he really did take at Kendrick was, "Hey, you're short and you got a size 7 shoe." So it's like. But Kendrick, man, like the line that I keep playing in my head and laughing at is he said, "I believe when you see yourself standing next to sexy red,
you see 2 bad bitches." Oh, that shit was funny.
That is so funny. Then he says, "You probably what he say? You probably see it's a competition to throwing ass with him."
Yeah. Nah, he said that. Then he said, your core audience can't stomach it. Tell them where you got your abs from. Dog, that double entendre is crazy.
Because then there's like this BBL Drizzy, like the fact that he got his stuff. It's so much, but then even more, like even serious, like but seriouser. That's not a word, but even like more serious lines, or like the way he even kicked off the beginning after the spoken word with the. He said it in another song, but the "Don't tell a lie on me, I won't tell the truth about you," and it's like that's such a poetic thing to me.
Yep.
And he everything about that song, even the line where he says like, "I hope What he said, I'm hoping Aubrey and Cole are my best friends. If not, I'm YW Melly, who is on trial for killing his friends.
Right.
Is nuts. It's nuts. I love
the
it.
other bar that got me is he was like, you don't even take care of your son.
Oh my God, bro. I've been enjoying it.
One thing I'm worried about that no one has said anything about, I don't want to draw attention to it, but I gotta talk about it just a little bit. He was saying how much he hates him, but then he said, what did he say? I typed it in the group chat. I have to say it exactly. I cannot fuck this up because I don't want y'all to think that I'm a hater and like I said this. But dog, he said it and I was like, this is gonna get some hate eventually. I know it is. It has to get hate because if it doesn't, I would be genuinely surprised.
You know, when rappers have beef, you know who wins? The fans. The fans win. Because do y'all remember like back to back, like the Meek Mill?
So he said, we hate the bitches you fuck because they confuse themselves with real woman. Ooh, and he said, I'm not speaking for me, I'm speaking for the culture. They fuck with me. I said, wait a minute. I'm like, that is a shot. However,
I won't come back and say something.
Somebody gonna say something, but I think the thing is I think the problem with that is like more people are upset when you don't like claim, when you don't rep your set, when you don't rep the flag. Like when you try to hide it, that's when people really get on you. Like if you out, you out. No one give a fuck.
Right.
But I think it's a shot because nobody knows. But now we know, and it's like, ooh.
The rumors have been circling for a while.
Who is that video for, Drake?
Hey, do your thing, 21.
Yo, you're right. Do your thing.
Hey, but yeah, nah.
He counting that money for fun. Do you feel me? Like,
even another line in there that was like really crazy to me was the line when he was talking about Drake wearing a lot of Tommy Hilfiger but didn't have any FUBU in his closet.
Right.
That was like crazy because it's like the whole thing with Tommy Hilfiger being racist and that coming out. Yep. And like you saying that Drake, who's now being quoted as white boy, we don't want to hear you say nigga no more, or like to hear that like you're supporting which I mean, he's not literally supporting, but
right.
Like for that to be the bar to show like Drake, you're more aligned with this, you're against FUBU, which is for us by us, you know. So Kendrick was, and then he was just playing, like he was having fun.
He was definitely having fun on the track, like nigga. How he said, because I quoted some of these and just was like laughing my ass off in the group chat. He said, "You don't know about that," like when he was talking about like him not knowing, like not raising his kid. Like he was having fun, and like you could tell. But like he remember how he said he'll crash out. I'll drop the location. In the song he dropped the location. Like I'll be eating Chinese food in this place with the blick. Like what's up?
Right.
Like pull up. He was about it, and I gotta give it to him. Round one go to Kendrick. Round one goes to Kendrick.
Kendrick for sure. And I think another thing that made this one big was bringing up Pusha T. Pusha T prior to
that's
this
crazy.
That's a chink on Drake's, like that's a chink in Drake's armor,
right? And
even the Pusha T beef itself, like that stemmed from whenever they had that group with Pharrell, and Kendrick even said in that song, like you know, diss Pharrell, I'm inheriting the beef.
I'm inheriting the beef. Dissing Pharrell is crazy,
right? Yeah, but I mean, like, but the whole reason why this whole thing, even with him and Pusha T, that whole thing, it had to do with Wayne. And have you ever noticed Wayne and Pharrell don't really have music together? And it's because they had that whole back and forth, and it was all about Bape, which is a really stupid thing. And then that kind of spinned off of Pharrell to Pusha T, and then from Lil Wayne to Drake, and then they're kind of going at it. And then now you got Kendrick that's like, nigga, it's my shit now.
Right. Nigga, fuck the big three, it's just be me.
It's just big me. And and just real quick, until that, the reason why I said like bringing up Pusha T, because the story of Added On is still by far one of the greatest diss songs in the world. You turned Drake into a dad.
You did, because that nigga was not. I promise you, he would have never talked about his son until he was like a teenager. You would have never knew Drake had a son.
You'd have been like, Drake has a son?
Right. And you know what's
This
crazy?
nigga lying. This nigga lying.
Drake paid big bucks for that to never come out. Because I'm telling you now, you cannot find damn near anything of the porn that his baby mama made. It's hard to find shit on her now.
Yeah.
Hard.
And not even spending money on that. Like the fact that he didn't just like ruin the idea of Drake having a son, but he fucked up that Adidas rollout that he had in support of his son. He had a whole contract with Adidas. They was going to do a father-son brand, and it was going to be called Adidon, which is why it's called the story of Adidon. But like he had an entire Adidas rollout. That's why he even said like Adonis is your son, and he deserves more than an Adidas press run. Like that's what that whole thing was about. So he would like he ruined that whole check for Drake. And then now you have Drake and Sycamore saying checks over stripes. That's what we like, because it's like fuck Adidas now. Like, but that whole deal is gone because of Pusha T. Like Pusha T fucked up millions for him. Facts. And now you got Kendrick. That's like I'm in that bag now. So
what's crazy is, like really funny to me, that nigga, the bar that he said to get that out, he was like, "You say you pushing P, but you won't push T." Like, yo,
it's a T.
Shit was funny.
He said you should spin back on that nigga before you try to push me.
Like, I've heard people try to say that it was mid. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna need you to pop Drake's dick out your mouth, because it's crazy how you're glazing right now.
And they said you had to listen to it a couple times, like cause
you do, because there's a couple things you're gonna miss, and you gotta look up. Like the Nelly thing, I had to look that up. I did, because I know the history of that. But I was like, now that makes sense. And I'm gonna talk to Heat about it later, because he's like my resident audiophile who listens to shit like this and can actually like give me all the finer details of rap beef. But dog, like in terms of just quality, I think they both did the same in quality. But in terms of like how beef goes and niggas shooting shots, his were better, his were more focused, and I just liked it more. Yeah, it was funny. It was funny. I had a good time.
Oh my gosh, when you see, I bet when you see yourself in Sexy Red, you see two bad bitches. Like
that shit made me laugh so fucking hard.
That is hilarious, bro. Oh my gosh, I paused it and I had to get up and laugh. My wife was laughing with me, like
that shit was funny, so fucking funny. But that's out. Diva, make sure you listen to that, because
I will.
I hope Drake makes a response. Can that be around two, please?
Out until I was on my way home from the gym. Like that's when I found out it was.
It was out mid-afternoon actually, but he posted about it like on your way home from gym. Yeah. Because I had to look it up at work, and I was laughing my ass off at that.
Yeah. I was at a parent-teacher conference still listening to it, like with my AirPods in the ear, and I was just like snickering. Bro. It was so funny, bro. Like I couldn't stop.
That's so funny. That's jokes. But yeah, so that's all the news that we have. Final segment, the weeks.
No, it's not. We have a segment before the week.
Oh, forget about your ears.
Don't forget about them. Okay, so I'm continuing with my Disney Parks ears. So this is from Disneyland. So I got it during my trip. And they're the Cars ears. So there's a Cars Land in Disneyland. It is so cute. First of all, these ears are super cool. They also light up. If I can remember how to light these ones up, because they're a little different than my other ones.
Are you ordering these, or do you go there and get them?
I go to the parks.
Are you in Florida? Or
I'm in Florida. Yeah.
I'm actually here in Austin, Texas, where Dreamcon is. Like it's like down the street from my house.
You're in Austin.
Yeah.
Well, you have to tell us where to get the food, because when we went last year,
I was so upset that it was only Tex-Mex around there, and I was getting pissed because I was so hungry.
Hey man, there's an Indian spot on 7th Street, tikka masala off the chain. There's a barbecue spot right outside the convention. Probably I got y'all.
Bet.
We appreciate it. But these ones aren't from Disney World. These are from Disneyland. I went to California a couple months ago and did Disneyland. So Cars Land, it looks just like Cars. Like when they drive down the street, it has the gas station, it has the tire shop. It looks just like Radiator Springs. It's so cool. But these ears I thought were so cute, and I couldn't leave without them if they will light up. Oh yeah, see, they light up. And like the lighting changes. And it's like around the rim. So it has a little wrench. It says Cars Land on it. Oh yeah, you can see it now. It says Cars Land on it. And then it has like little sketchy Lightning McQueens. These were pricier because they light up. Oh no, they weren't. They're only $39. So
with or without the discount?
I don't get a discount at Disneyland. I only get a discount.
Yikes.
So I had to pay full price.
Oh, the pain.
Oh, the pain. Yeah.
But I have something I want to show, and luckily you showing it reminded me. Today, so I won a raffle a little while ago from an artist. Her name is Madness108. She's supposed to be a guest here eventually. So she sent me some art, and I have a piece that's getting done by her because I won the raffle. And I'm going to share those because I love her art. It's sexy. It makes me feel things. So first we're going to go with the stickers. This is the one sticker. My light's very bright. This is the one sticker made by her. This is dope. I'm probably going to put that on the sticker wall that I have over there. I asked her where she won it, and she'll let me know. This is the other one as soon as the light stops.
Holographic. That's fire.
Yep. Holographic. I'm loving it. I got 2 buttons. Like.
Oh, wow. You got a lot of stuff.
And then I got this free little piece. And we love a chocolate baddie. This is going on the side of my bookcase because that's fucking hot. I love it.
It is hot.
Yep. Shout out to Madness108. Eventually we'll have her on here. I have plenty of questions to ask her. But yeah, she's pretty dope. Great artist. Please check her out. She sells tapestries, paintings, art. She's very active on all of her social medias. So be sure to check her out. She is a dope black woman doing dope things from Chicago.
We love it.
And if you like pretty ladies, she's a pretty lady.
She is really pretty.
She is very pretty.
You ready to get into our weeks? Let's close it.
Yup, let's go with the guest. How was your week, my guy?
So my week was really exciting. I was able to go ahead and get my barcode and all my legalities set so that I can go ahead and get that copy of that first volume, not first volume, sorry, the chapter 1 that we had spoke about earlier. I can go ahead and start getting that printed. Also, we're also building up all the merch and stuff. I have a whole, so it may look like I'm in a living room. I'm actually in my man cave. This is my space. Like, this is a whole area for just me. And right here off camera, I literally have like a whole merchandise set up, embroidery machine, heat press, all my shirts and stuff. Because my website is currently down right now, but that's because with me working on some chapters, I didn't want to sell books of outdated art. So I'm kind of putting a pause on everything right now. But yeah, so we're pretty much just getting all of that stuff situated, and with being able to announce the panel, that kind of put the batteries back in the, in my bag and everything. So I'm super excited again. Also, I was really looking forward to this. I was super excited for this too. And so yeah, I say like my week, and then this Kendrick things, like the icing on top. So this has actually been like a really, really good week. I have another pod that I'm doing on Friday, and I'm just excited all around, man.
Dope. That's a great week. Diva.
My week was, it actually started off like kind of rough, like thinking back to like last week, because we didn't pod on Tuesday because Jordan was sick, but like I had like a rough week last week.
Fast food draft coming soon.
Yeah, fast
I'm not
food draft.
restaurant draft, not fast food. We got to redo fast food actually with the list.
We do. Okay. So it was like a rough week, and it like started turning around after, believe it or not, a nap. I was tired. Like I was tired and cranky, and I needed a nap. I like left work early. I came home, took a nap. Like after that, cleaned the house, cooked dinner, went to therapy, like had the most amazing day ever. Killian went on a long walk, went to the gym. I did everything after that nap. You'd have thought, like, you'd have never known I had a bad week. This weekend we did Universal for the day. So we did both parks all day. We had a great time. And I spent the weekend, like I said earlier, working on so not that like I'm moving jobs or anything, but as an architect, like I try to keep my portfolio and my resume like as current as possible, and like keep updating it and all that other stuff. And I was updating my portfolio, and I was like, take a look at my website. Like I probably need to add jobs from, like, add the work I've done at this job to my website. I hadn't updated it since before I moved to Florida. So it ended up taking a lot more time than I thought, but it looks really nice, and it's like very professional, but still like cutesy and pinksy because that's who I am. So yeah, that's my week, and now we here podding.
We big podding. So my week it started off kind of icky. Slow work week, not getting chewed out per se, but like the pressure is about to be on these next couple weeks to make sure that I'm doing my job right. However, last week it was very slow, so I ended up staying home because Joy was sick, and since it was slow, I stayed home one of the days to take care of her. I don't know what's been going around. Make sure you protect yourself, take some vitamin C, something, because she lost her voice, had a 102 fever, was bad, like had to sweat it out bad. So she was sick all week. I was home like 2 days of the week, and then like came home from work early another day and was just making sure she was good. But then came my weekend, in which is my friend Mia's birthday. Shout out to her. Happy birthday to you. She's turning 26, now officially closer to 30 than she's ever been. But we had a great time. I hung out with her for a pregame, and then after that we went to K-Pot. So I got me some Korean barbecue the other day. Fucking delicious. Got to meet friends, hang out, but that's all I really did. This art was kind of the icing on the cake for my week. And then also I spent like 4 hours in Photoshop making our flyer. I think I did an amazing job. Diva thinks I did a great job.
Good job.
Yeah, we'll also have a panel.
He just had that one missed opportunity.
That's someone else's brand, dog. But
he could have did a hidden Mickey and it'd have been great.
So yeah, we're having a panel as well. We'll be playing our signature game, Level Up. I'll be fine tuning all the rules. We'll probably get at least one more game before Dreamcon in, get some practice, in which we will be determining who will be the final boss of Level Up when it comes down to Dreamcon. Because although you guys will be going against each other, the final boss will be someone from the Beam Nerdy podcast. So be ready for that.
It's funny. I kind of don't want to be the final boss. I kind of want to host. But if I'm the final boss, that's also fun.
We'll see. We shall see. But that being said, my week was pretty simple. This art is fucking dope, and the icing on the cake, I'm about to message her after this and see if like my piece is done. Because she does sexy art very well. Like, very well. It'll make you feel things. So.
In your no parts?
In your yes parts. So, if you haven't checked her art out, make sure you do. The adult art's the best, in my opinion. But that's my week. So, with that being said, that's the end of the pod. We've reached the end of another great pod. Thanks to our guests. You have been excellent. Oh my goodness. There's like 20 minutes of this I gotta cut out because we were just chopping it up the whole time.
Just us.
Just us. Like,
yeah.
And I love that. I love when we can just have a conversation. You've been great talking about Infinity Star is great. I can't wait for more of it. I'm actually gonna probably finish it tonight and be messaging Diva about it. So that's probably what's going to happen after I hang up.
You got to shoot me that message too, man. I got to know what you think.
Oh, don't worry about it. You'll get it. I don't know if I follow you already, but I'm definitely going to be following you after this. And I can't wait to meet up in Dreamcon. We have so many people. I'm making sure that all of our friends know about the panel. Please come, because I want like some of our friends who have like stuff going on to be up there so they can talk about themselves. And then I want some of the fans to be up there as well. Like, I want it to be one of those events that people don't expect to be popping, and then when we post about it, it's popping. Same thing for you. We will have as many people as we can pop it in there.
Yeah. Don't worry.
And I appreciate every last bit of that. And like I said, I'm also out here trying to make big plays too. So I'm really big. Like I said at the very start of this, like in order for one of us to kind of make it, we need to have that super big support system.
Facts.
So I'm really big. Facts. Whenever I go to the panel, I'm going to try to bring a whole tribe with me, make sure that your panel's as lively as it is, and while also trying to make sure mine is too.
Facts.
So yeah, man, again, thank you so much for having me, man. Like this was a blast, like for sure.
Yeah. Oh, and we'll definitely be copping merch. Is that merch you got on right now? Because I see a little diamond there, and I'm like, is that a little something?
Nah, I don't. Let me see if I can show you something. Hold on.
Yeah. Because I saw it and I was like, I don't know if it's merch or not. And if it is, that's kind of hard. You could get almost any shoe with that, you feel me? You could just be like, I got the on me. You feel me?
You think he's so cool.
I don't think I'm cool, actually. I think I'm very socially awkward. And most people just like me because I'm quirky.
Maybe because you have autism.
I don't have autism.
So I don't have any merch to show right now.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. But like I said, that being said, that's the end of the pod. Be sure to check out both of us at Dreamcon. hoping that we don't have the same times, 'cause that would really suck.
Yeah.
But hoping to see us at Dreamcon. Check us out. We will be there. Flyers are going to keep going out each week. We're going to be posting it, making sure you guys know. We will repost yours. Just add us, please, please, please. We want people to show up for you, just like for us. That being said, I'm Galaxy Greg. Be sure to follow me on my socials at Mr. Space Awaits for my personal Instagram, in which I post all of our weekly drops, all of our this or that's, our What Grinds My Gears Wednesdays, Talk to Me Thursdays, and our Highlight Clips Fridays. So be sure for that. And if you guys give us enough response and enough engagement, maybe you'll get Storytime Saturdays from us. Because do we have stories? Exactly. That being said, be sure to follow the podcast at Be More Nerdy on all platforms. We have TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. We're working on YouTube, and we'll be catching up with the episodes post at 100 outside of Nisha Plays interview, because we have that. Shout out to Nisha. She's great. But that's it for me. Diva.
I'm your girl Diva XOXO. You can follow me on Instagram at always_the_diva. Make sure to comment on this video and leave what? Oh my God, why can't I do this
Likes,
anymore? And
rates, subscribes.
Likes and ratings. Let us know what you're thinking, and make sure to check out our guy DR Marshall. Infinity Star is great. It's a great read. You're not going to be disappointed. So check it out on webtoons, out right now. So, yeah.
DR, it's all you. Take it away.
It's all you.
Ooh, they call me Mr. Why he calling so late. Anyway. So, nah, man. So, DR Marshall, man. You can find me on Infinity Star Manga on IG, all one word. Super glad I was able to be here. The link to all my other socials, I believe, is in my bio. But what's more important that's in my bio is you can read every single chapter I have of Infinity Star for the free ski. The updated chapter with the new art should go live this weekend. And shortly after that, the only other thing really to look for until the con, because everything else I'm keeping a secret, an audio version of the manga will be going live on YouTube later in the following month. So keep a lookout for that. Again, thank you guys for having me so much.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, man. It's been wonderful. But as it always, everything must come to a close. And with that, we are the Be More Nerdy podcast. And remember to be more nerds. Peace.
We out here.